Have you ever had an epidural or any type of puncture wound or surgery that left a scar tissue? Have you ever wondered what it might be doing to you? Well, I want to share with you what it's doing, what you could do, and some of my discoveries. Hi, I'm Cheryl Townsley, your naturopath and wisdom coach, and I am a perpetual detective. I had no clue that a puncture wound, actually 6, that I had done to me over 30 years ago could be impacting me today. But because I'm continually looking for answers to challenges and realizing that no matter what your age, there are always options to things that you thought you had to live with forever. So let me tell you my story, because I am now finding it repeating in many people. I'm not the only one who's ever had an epidural. So anyway, I was working with my trainer, and we were noticing that I tended to have weakness in both of my legs when he was doing some kinesiology testing. If you have weakness in just one leg, then typically you strengthen the other side, and that will work through the brain to come down to the weaker side. Well, that wasn't my issue. Mine was weakness on both sides. Now, in our Z Health training classes that we do here at Lifestyle for Health, both online and local, we help you deal with learning how to support your body. But mine, of course, wasn't the easy way. And so as he was testing, and since it was weak on both sides, we knew it was a midline issue. Something was causing the disconnect between my brain via the nervous system down to my legs. And we spent a little bit of time on it, but knowing my body really well and being intuitive, I said, aha, I'll bet you it's the site of the epidurals. And sure enough, when he did the sports taping of that site, my legs went rock solid strong. Now, I hadn't just done a workout. We were simply restoring the brain's connection with my legs via the nervous system. So I thought, well, that's pretty cool. So I did the taping for a couple of weeks and had some great results. He said that this typically will take 3 to 8 months to firmly and completely restore that connection. So we waited a week or two to get my skin adjusted from the taping. Did that taping another 2 times, and oh my goodness, some pretty significant reactions, because now what was happening is the emotions of the original trauma were starting to surface and say to the nervous system, this is really not safe. So here's behind the scenes over 30 years ago. I had some really significant issues during my pregnancy, and as a result, I was in bed for 7 months. Knowing what I know now, I know that the issue is candida and poor digestion. But none of my doctors looked at that because that's not common interest in the medical community. So as a result, we never knew when I would pass out. We lived in a 3-story townhome, so the safest thing to do was put me in bed. 7 months. That's not much fun. Now, as a result of being in bed for that long, I lost muscle tone. So as I went into labor, after 24 hours, no baby, they decided to do an epidural. At that point, I didn't care about anything. I'm not here to talk about the pros and cons of epidurals. I just want to share what happened to me. Well, since when the doctor went to do the epidural, first one on the left side, it didn't feel right. My muscle tone was shot. So he did 6 pokes, none of which felt right. I have no idea if any of them released any of the epidural medication or not. But it took 6, and that caused nerve damage, which I've known about for 30 years, but nobody knew what to do. So as I started working with the trainer, I was like, well, cool. If just taping will take care of it, that's pretty easy. But when I started having the reactions, I knew enough to know. Yeah, it's the emotional trauma. It's the emotional trauma of a very difficult pregnancy, a very difficult labor, the postpartum depression that nobody seemed to know what to do about, and that leading to 2 suicide attempts, which nobody really knew what to do other than to Prozac. You know, that actually led me, getting that problem resolved, is actually what led me into becoming a naturopath and working with tens of thousands of clients over the last 28 years. There was a reason for every one of those problems and every one of those reactions. But even though I consciously knew it, my brainstem, the subconscious, was like, red alert, she's going to go through this trauma all over again and we can't cope with that. It took her 5 years to recover just baseline function. So I did all the things that I have learned how to do. I knew how to support my nervous system. I knew how to clear emotions. I have a health team that I work with, someone who does very advanced and very different PT work, somebody to help me with the emotional release of the trauma. And now all of a sudden things are really starting to work. And I'm starting to see weight loss again. And you know what? What was so fascinating about the epidural site is where it is in the back. If you just took it all the way around the front, it was like a little tire of puffy weight. It was like a flat tire, but it was taking up space. That's starting to go away. So I thought, well, maybe I'm not just the weird duck in the group. Maybe this is impacting other people, especially women. And you know what? That's what I'm finding. I'm finding that scar tissue, puncture wounds, C-section, tummy tuck, any of those surgeries can have a huge impact on the nervous system, your emotions, the ability to lose weight, the ability to be able to balance hormones, and to have smoothness in your body line. So here's what I want you to know. There is a reason why your body looks like it does. There is a reason why your nervous system functions the way it does. There's a way and a reason why you walk the way you do, like an old person even when you're not old. There's an impact on your eyes. Every part of your body can be impacted by scar tissue. But when was the last time any practitioner that you worked with had any insight that had been proven to be able to make a difference? Well, if this fits you at all, isn't it time for you to discover options that can work for you? Just a couple of things I want to lay out that you can do besides working with me. Number one, we actually have a homeopathic called Relief Tone. It's great to take before, during, and after surgeries, and it's great to help with the healing of scar tissue. I don't know if that's on our website, but you can call our office. The office number's on the website. The second is to use frankincense, the essential oil, and also put on that same area where the scar tissue is, Rescue Remedy, which is an all-purpose flower essence that you can find in any health food store. Rescue Remedy, it's a Bach, B-A-C-H, flower remedy. You can apply it topically to the scar, right along with the frankincense. So those are super easy. But almost always, scar tissue that's impacting the brain, well, that means there's going to be some emotional trauma. And that's one of the things that I help deal with. I can help you with releasing the trauma and then understand which system it's most impacting via our body scan and help you find the solutions for you. I'm so thankful I have a team to help me work on me, because now, in my 60s, I don't have to let a problem 30 years old become worse as I get a little bit older. We can always get a little bit better. So check out the options on CherylTownsley.com. And please remember that no matter what you're going through, there's always an option. And I refuse to give up on challenges no matter how old they are. Because the more I learn, the more team that I work with, I am finding answers that nobody else even knew there was a problem with. So if you've had an epidural, if you've got any scar tissue, a lot of puncture wounds, and you know what? That even can include tattoos, especially if there's red. So discover the options so that you can turn around challenges that have been impacting you. CherylTownsley.com, your nature path and wisdom coach.